Have you ever gotten that weird feeling at work? You know, the closed-door meetings that suddenly pop up, the budget freezes that come out of nowhere. It's that general vibe of uncertainty that just hangs in the air. It's stressful, right? But what happens when all those whispers turn into an official announcement about major layoffs? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. Because here in Taiwan, there's a law designed to be your shield in that exact situation. It's called the Act for Worker Protection in Mass Redundancy. And our goal here is to break this whole thing down, to turn all that complicated legal language into a clear, straightforward guide that you can actually use. So, let's get into it. First, we'll figure out what a mass layoff even is in the eyes of the law, because as you'll see, the numbers really matter. Then, we'll walk through the super important 60-day countdown. After that, how you get a voice in the whole process, what your protections are, what rights you have after the layoff, and finally, what happens when a company decides not to play by the rules. Think of it as your roadmap. All right, first things first. Not every layoff is considered a mass layoff legally. There are some very specific numbers, some thresholds that a company has to cross for all these special protections to actually kick in. So what's the big idea? The law basically defines a mass layoff or redundancy as letting go of a whole bunch of people within a 60-day window. And it has to be for specific business reasons, like, say, the company's in financial trouble, or it's merging, or just totally reorganizing. The key thing to remember is that a whole bunch of people is tied directly to how big the company is. Okay, this chart right here, this is your cheat sheet. It tells you exactly when the law applies. Just find your company size on the left. The law gets triggered if the number of layoffs hits either the 60-day number in the middle or that single-day number on the right. So, for example, if you're at a company with 150 employees and they lay off more than a third of the workforce, so 51 people, over 2 months, that triggers the act. But so does laying off just 21 people on one single Tuesday. Now, there is one little exception to keep in mind here. According to Article 2 of the Act, foreign workers on certain kinds of fixed-term contracts, they actually don't get included in this headcount. It's a really specific detail, but it can make all the difference in whether a situation legally qualifies as a mass layoff. So let's say the numbers do add up. It's officially a mass layoff. This is the moment a very important clock starts ticking. A company can't just tell everyone to pack their desks and go home tomorrow. Nope. A strict 60-day countdown begins, and it comes with a whole required process. Think of this timeline as your safety net. A full 60 days before the first layoff happens, the company has to send a formal layoff plan to the government. Then, within 10 days of that, they have to sit down and start negotiating with employees. And if those first talks go nowhere, the government actually steps in and creates an official committee. It's all designed to make sure there are no surprises. So what's actually in this layoff plan? It's not just some quick memo. Article 4 says it has to be super detailed. It's got to lay out why this is happening, which departments are affected, the exact date, how many people, how they're being chosen, and, this is a big one, how severance pay is calculated and what kind of help they'll offer to find a new job. The law demands transparency. And this plan isn't some big secret either. The company is legally required to share it with any labor union involved, with the employee reps on the company's internal labor management conference, and with every single employee in the departments that are going to be affected. Nobody is supposed to be left in the dark. All that transparency leads us to what might be the most powerful part of this law, the negotiations. You are guaranteed a voice. You get a seat at the table to talk about the terms of the layoff. So the law sets up this two-step process. Think of it as Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is direct talks between the company and employee reps, and that has to start within 10 days. The idea is to cooperate and find a solution together. But if that just doesn't work, Plan B kicks in. That's when the government forms an official negotiation committee, bringing everyone, government, employer, and employees, to the table to work out a deal. And I really want you to get this part. The agreement that this committee reaches, it's not a suggestion. It's not a friendly handshake. Under Article 7, it is legally binding on every single employee. That means if the company tries to back out of the deal later, that agreement can be taken to court and enforced. It has real teeth. Now, what's cool about this law is that it's not just about reacting to bad news. It's also proactive. It gives you some really specific protections during the negotiation period, and it even helps you spot warning signs that a mass layoff might be coming down the road. If you work at a company with 30 or more employees, Article 11 basically gives you a checklist of red flags. You see things like your paycheck being late all the time, or the company isn't paying its insurance premiums, or things just grind to a halt. You or your union can report that.
The authorities will then step in to investigate before it becomes a full-blown crisis. It's like an early warning system.
And this is absolutely crucial. Once that 60-day process kicks off, you're protected. Article 10 makes it illegal for your employer to just transfer you to a different role or fire you while these negotiations are going on. It's there specifically to stop them from targeting people or trying to retaliate. Let's be crystal clear on this one, too. The law flat out forbids discrimination. A company can't decide who to lay off based on your race, your gender, your age, or whether you're in a union. The criteria for the layoffs have to be fair, and they have to be applied to everyone equally. Okay, so what happens after the layoff is official and it's your last day? Does the company just get to wash its hands of you? Absolutely not. Their legal responsibilities continue. I love this part. It's a really powerful right that you have. According to Article 9, if the company starts hiring again for jobs that are similar to the ones they cut, they're legally required to offer those jobs to their former employees first. It's literally a first out, first back in rule.